everybody, we are doing a little review on Wealthsimple. This is going to be a little longer video, and I'm doing this on my phone because I typically use Wealthsimple mobile because it's just a lot easier. It has all the same things. So let's get started. Wealthsimple will let you set up your personal information, and then you hook up a card, so an account number to that. I'm not going to show you guys that, but you hook up your account, you hook up your card to it, and then you go to invest and discover, and you could discover top losers, top gainers, ETF lists, fractional trading. So they do let you buy smaller amounts of shares, or not even one share, which I'm not super keen on. I buy everything in full shares, so I don't really understand fractional shares, and I don't really understand what's going to happen if, let's say that Wealthsimple goes through a rough time and they're not going to be around for much longer. What happens to your fractional shares? I didn't do the DD on it, and I'm not putting my money behind something that I didn't do the DD on. So let's say you want Coca-Cola, you can press on that. You can press buy. And then it brings you up to your TFSA or your personal. In this case, all I have is a TFSA. You can click next. Now, this is important because you can either have a market buy or a limit buy. And a market buy will just buy it at the current price somebody's selling it on the market. Whether it's high, whether it's low. Let's say you put a market buy in right now at 6 a.m. You put a market buy in, and the next day the price goes up by like $2. You bought it $2 more. So market buys are not too great. You probably don't want to do a market buy that often because you can't judge what you bought things for. Instead, if you go to a limit buy, and we'll just say don't show this again, you can buy shares for a set price. So in this case, we'll say Coca-Cola at 22. It's 22.18, so I'm buying it for a little less. Okay, so then we can press continue, and then we can press how many. You want 20, you want 100, you want 10, goddamn million. Can you? Oh yeah, you can. Holy. Yeah, you could buy a lot. And you can buy it at 22, and it gives you your estimated cost. That's actually not an estimate, that's your real cost. So I mean, that's your cost before what they make you pay in. Let's say I go for one share. They're gonna make me pay, don't show this again, they're gonna make me pay, because it's an American company, in American. Oh, it's actually $22 Canadian. CDR. Okay, so if this was American, I would be hit with another page that says that they're charging me 1.5% exchange rate fee, which, I pay it. I like having American equities, so I'm okay with paying it 1.5%. So after you've done that, you can press keep my order, and it will keep your order open for 30 days, 90 days max, which is very good, especially if you just want to set a buy order and then leave it and wait for that buy order to hit. However, every 90 days you do have to come back to that. Okay, so we're not buying a Coca-Cola share. That's just for instance. Once you place that order through, it goes in. It goes into your regular account, and if you go all the way to, I guess, right here where it says available trade and how much money you have, it will say pending open trades. So that's where you'd see it, and that would be your trade that isn't filled, and how much money is taken out of your account put towards that trade. Other than that, Wealthsimple shows you a line here that shows a black line, the portfolio value, or the net deposits, versus the value of the portfolio. So that's actually a nice little tracker that they keep for you. Arguably, that line for me is getting further and further apart the wrong way, which is just par for the course right now. I'll fix that later. I got lots of time. And if you don't have lots of time, you play it a little differently. So yeah, the net deposit and showing you how much you put in versus how much you've gotten or lost, you gained or lost, is it's a very important thing to have. That way you never lose track of what you put in. So yeah, with those being said, we're going to go over to our settings again, and we can look at our activity, and we can actually put a filter on to show just buys, just sells, just dividends. Pretty easy. It ended up working out very well in this case for me. Yeah, I can look at my dividends. Let's just look at my dividends, and voila. It just shows me how much I've been making and what day I made it each month. Pretty good, pretty nice. I actually had the exact same Nexus REITs dividends, but Dream Industrial has also been exactly the same. Very consistent. Nice. So once we can see our dividends, we can see our cash flow. You're probably wondering, how are we taxed on that? Well, they do have a sheet that you can print off or send to your I guess it's Canadian, so they send it to your CRA account. But that's okay. I ended up doing my taxes through H&R Block, so it was even simpler than that. They brought that up for me. They did the taxes on it. I didn't even, really register that it happened because Wealthsimple keep it hooked to your account because you gave them your SIN number and information, so it is hooked up to your CRA account, which means that you can be taxed appropriately on what you have. And I know maybe you want to avoid those taxes. That is not pay your taxes, people. That's financial advice. Pay your taxes. Don't try to dodge it. That just leads to trouble. Play the game, pay your taxes, and don't be in trouble. So yeah, it's a very easy app. The one downside, this app does not let you options trade. Options trading is when you can buy and sell where you think a stock is going to be, and it lets you leverage that. They don't let you do that. I do not believe that is beneficial for the average person. This app is made for the average person. I'm a tradie. I'm a tradesman. I don't know how to options trade. I don't know what I'd be doing. I don't want to take out debt to leverage myself with debt in an options trade. That just it just seems stupid to be able to let an average person do. So and I don't think I'd be the only person who thinks this. So without option trading, what you have left is buying and selling shares of companies, and which is what you do. I buy shares of companies. I sell shares of companies. I don't need much more than that to have a good plan to make money later. And maybe things change. Maybe I move it to another brokerage. I can do that, and I can do that without much hassle. Another important note to know about Wealthsimple is they are a licensed brokerage, which means that your money is insured up to $1 million per account. So you have insurance on your money, which means that if anything were to go wrong with Wealthsimple, I mean, obviously, if they lose all your money, if they get hacked and literally file for bankruptcy, you might have a bit of problem there. But unlikely. That doesn't usually happen anymore, and if that does happen, then I'm sure that you will see a large portion of your money back. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but there just always seems to be a way to fight for that these days. So, if the brokerage is legit enough to be insured, then they're also legitimate enough to, make sure your funds aren't just going to be gone one day. Other than that, yeah, if you're a buy and hold kind of guy and girl and whatever else, then Wealthsimple is a very good product to be a part of. Anyways, guys, I do updates on my portfolio. I just want to do a little review on Wealthsimple. I think that it's underused, especially when you you have other um, you have other brokerages that are a little more flimsy, a little less legitimate, and Wealthsimple does a good job at making this not look like a game. There's no confetti when you make a trade. It just shows you what you did, what you're doing. The only downside, like a true downside to this app, is if you click on a company, you don't get that much information. So it's hard to do DD on Wealthsimple, and I don't think that you should be using Wealthsimple to do any of your due diligence. I usually use Webull because they hold a lot more information about the companies. So, with that in mind, I think Wealthsimple is a very, very good brokerage to do your work on. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.